do that again. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sydney and this is Storytime with Sid. I'm going to be talking about my March TBR today, and if you don't know what TBR means, it just means to be read, but hopefully all of you do know what that means. So let's just jump right in. The first book that I'm hoping to pick up for March is going to be not Malice, but Valor, I believe, and that is the second book in the Faithful and Fallen series by John Gwynne, and I actually read his Shadow of the Gods previous to reading Malice, and let's just say that I was a little underwhelmed by Malice in comparison to the Shadow of the Gods. If you don't know, The Hunger of the Gods, which is the second in the Bloodsworn trilogy, is coming out in April, and I'm super excited. I have it pre-ordered and I can't wait to get to it. But I'm hoping that I can maybe manage to finish this series before the Bloodsworn comes out. If you don't know, Malice follows a couple points of view, and it's just a kind of coming of age story is what I would say. The characters follows a young boy, his sister, so his family basically, and then you're following a couple other characters, so the king's right-hand man, and then you're kind of following some other one-off characters that are a little bit hard to describe. And this land has worms and no dragons yet, but hopefully. It has worms, it has battles, it has just kind of everything that like an epic fantasy would have. The one thing I actually didn't really enjoy about this book is the pacing. It takes place over almost 2 years of time in this single book, so I think that that's one thing that maybe he struggled with, and I know it's a quartet, so it's 4 books, but I'm just really curious to see where the story goes from here. I'm going to try and do like little updates on reading this series. I know this is a favorite for a lot of people, and I know that people really encourage you to keep going. I think a little bit about Valor in that most people, if they stop reading at Valor. But I am determined to get through and finish this series. I'm excited, and I know how good John Gwynne's writing is, so I'm really excited to keep going with this series. The next book I'm hoping to pick up in March is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I don't actually know a whole lot about this book, but I know that it's a very big favorite from a lot of people. I hear it talked about a lot on BookTube. I obviously see it a lot on Bookstagram and just kind of everywhere. This book is pretty stinking popular. I read the synopsis, and it's basically just about a boy who's looking for the lost city of Weep, and that is pretty much all I know about this book. They say that the writing is super lyrical in this, and that's not always my favorite kind of writing, so I'm a little nervous, but I think I can definitely make it through. The font is pretty small in here, and I believe this is actually a YA book. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, so please let me know if you like this book or if you didn't. I just know it's really popular, so I'm kind of nervous about the hype around it. So please, again, let me know. And one of my other books that I'm planning on picking up in March is the Red Rising series. I have heard this series described as Hunger Games in space, but again, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I just, I literally don't know more than that, so I'm kind of trying to keep it that way. And I don't know, I believe this is book 1 of a trilogy, but I believe that there's 2 more books. My camera died on me in the middle of talking. That's quite rude. But as I was saying, this is book 1 of a trilogy but I believe there's actually 2 other books that maybe go along with this. I'm not really sure if that's the case, or maybe like they're in the same world but don't follow the same characters. I'm not really sure. But I think these will be really good books to get to in March because they're so short. I didn't have the greatest February reading month. I got stuck on this book right here. Very good, but very confusing. So I'm not really sure if I would recommend this to pretty much anyone. So it's kind of put me in like a really bad slump, and I was supposed to have finished it today, and I'm probably only about 400 pages in, and I still have another 200 pages. So I don't think I'm going to be picking up the second one in this, just because I really have quite a few thoughts on this that I'll save for later. So anyway, I'm excited for March, and I'm excited to get back into the books that I'm really excited to read. And then my last physical book that I'm going to be reading is obviously the second book in the Red Rising series. Again, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is 444 pages, so I think I'm going to be able to really fly through these 2. I'm hoping to get to the third one and just finish off some of these series that I have sitting on my shelves. I'm trying to read as much as possible for my physical TBR, but I do have one more book that I plan to read in March, and that would be The Tower of Swallows by Andrew Sapkowski. And that is the 4th book in the Witcher series, and I have to say The Baptism of Fire was hands down my favorite Witcher book so far, and it followed pretty much just Geralt, and it was just a blast. It was very monster of the week and ragtag little group of people, but I actually listened to the Witcher series on audiobook, and I highly recommend doing that if you haven't. The narrator is wonderful, and he does different voices, and the whole experience has just been a blast. Alright everybody, thank you for watching, and if you've read any of these books or have any thoughts on them, please let me know down below in the comments. I think I'm most excited to pick up the Red Rising series, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on them. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!